Okay, this next installment we're going to show you how to create a basic quote in Quotewerks. Okay, pretty straightforward, and we'll get right into it actually. How you should normally go into a quote in Quotewerks is through the prospects in Sedona. Okay, so you want to make sure, for various reasons, and I'll show you why. We'll use our customer demo here. Open up your prospect, go to the Quotewerks icon, and then here you're going to select new quote. So this is you're going to build a new quote based off of this, and I'll tell you why you have to go through there, or why you should go through there. Because here in the sold to ship to, all that information that you've already put into the prospect will automatically come over to the quote in the sold to ship to tab. And just for clarification, sold to is basically, think of that as sold to or billed to, who we're selling this system to. Ship to is really the site in which this system is going to be installed. And then bill to, if there's a third-party biller, this is where you want to put that information. Alright, so typically, most times it'll be all three will be the same, but for those occasions that they do differ, please use the corresponding columns to indicate where the system goes, or is being installed, that is, and where it's being billed to. So basically, let's start off, and this is Quotewerks. Basically what it is when you want to start a new quote, it will open up this window for you. Quotewerks has some pre-built templates that we've constructed that, for example, if you want to sell a Lynx system 3-door 2-motion with cellular, you go under File, you go to New, and this will open up the template page here. So these are all our pre-built templates. So let's look for a Lynx 5100, so in other words, Lynx, these are all 5100s, GSM 3-door 2-motion, right here, $4.99, $39.99 a month. 3D2M is basically 3 doors 2 motions. Let's hit OK, and this will open up the template. Now this is all pre-configured to have all the discounts already applied. You'll see that the subtotal is already $499.99 plus taxes, so $565 even. The monthlies are already in there as well, including the APL. So you have your $21.50 for your monitoring, $10 for your cellular, $5 for warranty, $2.49 for the subsidy, and $1 for the APL. Okay, so this all equals $39.99, which is down here, which shows the included tax amount. Okay, so basically this is all it is. This is your template. Now, unfortunately, Quotewerks isn't set up currently so that it can take that notion of all that information we brought in from Sedona, the phone number, the name, the address, and all that, and put it in here, because if you go into here, you'll see it's all blank. So what you have to do, much like in our other tutorial, you have to do the copy and paste method in order to bring over your information. So let's do that. Just do a Control A. It'll highlight everything in this document. Right click, copy, go over here, and the little X, let's close this template off. And just to confirm, yeah, there's the info. I'm going to put it right here. Right click, paste, yes, and it'll fill in with all the template information. Okay, so let's just scroll back up because it goes right to the bottom, and there you go. So now we have our sold to ship to information. We have all of our template that we can now start editing and changing where it needs to be changed if we want to add more motions, add more motions, add more items, so on and so forth, more services. So for example, let's just take, and it's pre-configured with 6.25 hours in order to install these devices already in the system. So let's say that this customer wants to add a, I don't know, another, let's just pick something here, wireless, another wireless door contact. You want to put 2 more in there. You can't just put 2 there and think it's all done, because you'll see it still hasn't changed the price. And obviously when it's green, it still means it's as an option, still slated as an option. So what you do, just highlight this line. There's a couple ways to do it. I'll show you the quick way. You just double click, and over here you're going to put, see, it's optional. It says yes as selected. Yes, it's optional, that is. As soon as you hit this and hit OK, it's going to say, or tell the system, hey, let's count this. So two things you're going to notice is the subtotal goes up, and the number now changes to a violet color. It still will not print on the quote. If you do want it to actually print on the quote, same thing, double click, print line, yes. And usually you know going in, so you would select this and hit yes all at the same time, hit OK. And now if we go to hit the deliver button, which from here we can email or print or preview it, it should be always Security 1 Standard 1.0 as your template, and hit preview, and this will show you what the quote will look like to your customer once you email it or print it out for them. And it lists all the devices, the quantity of such, the discount, the full price, the discount, okay, and your add-on optional selected item, okay, and your subtotal, and your total, and your monthly plus HST. Okay, this one happens to be on 2 pages, so it just splits it up accordingly. Alright, and also you can see here, hey, you know what, just some housekeeping I can probably do here. Additional labor line. If I wanted to charge extra labor, this is where I would have done it. But this commercial security monitoring, that's just a header, it looks like. So let's go back and get rid of those. Okay, so let's just go back here. Let's wait till it's done. Okay, so you notice it doesn't print anything else other than what you've selected. And also when you do go to convert it to an order, it will only bring all of the items that you have selected. It won't bring up all of these other optional items. But as you can see, there's a lot of options, and you basically go through the list and see what it is you need and go from there. So right here, I can tell that this one is going to be printing simply because of that kind of a goldy number. So let me just double click there. Print line, there it is. Let's hit no, OK. And we'll address this in the templates here as well. Just print line, yes, no, OK. Okay, and simply because that this is a brand new installation and these particular items already include a labor component to them, there's no need to add additional security. Now, that being said, as far as the charge that is, that being said, you always want to keep in mind that when you start adding more and more items, the labor units over here will increase, and so you might want to adjust your hours if you feel that we've added quite a few items that we not necessarily have to charge, but at the very least you have to account for them. And I'll explain in better detail later on. This is more just a basic template quote that we're putting together right now. Okay, so basically that's what you do with these 2 tabs, and it's always good to go from left to right. So document tabs, check, done. Sold to, shipped to, check, done. Everything's in there. Got an email address and everything, great. Sale info, okay, this is where you want to make sure your name is here. Any PO, customer PO information would go right here in this section, and that's pretty well the only 2 areas you want to confirm in this area. Notes, you have 4 boxes of notes here. Now, you have your introduction note, you have your closing note, purchasing notes, and internal notes. The 2 on the left here, introduction and closing, are both note sections that the customer will see because they will be printed, or when you email or print the quote, it will be printed or emailed along with it. So you want to be careful what you put here. You only want to put things here that have to do with the customer. For example, if the customer has to they have to get something ready before we go out, i.e. Bell Canada has to show up, or Cogeco has to show up in order to install something before we install. You want to make note of that here, so that way the customer has it with them at all times. On these 2 sections, it's purchasing notes and internal notes. Usually anything to do with a part that you want the job coordinator or inventory person to be aware of, you want to put in this section. Anything to do with a billing or anything else that needs to be known about the customer, installation, for example, notes as well, should go in this area here, just to keep it all kind of organized. I.e., you want to put down here, beware of dog, so on and so forth. Okay, but basically that's about it. Now, if you did want to, oh, sorry, I forgot this one, refer name. If there is a refer on this job, this is where you'd want to put their name. If they happen to be a customer of Security One already, then you want to put their customer number here as well. You'll also want to indicate here whether or not this is a new customer or an existing customer. Any special notes you want to indicate here as well. SGL versus CGL, indicate that here as well. And that's pretty well it. That's all. Don't worry about the primary source just now, but for now, the most important part here is that refer name, new or existing, and then SGL, CGL. Links, this is where you can have hyperlinks on your quote or things like that of that nature. We don't get into that much, so don't really get into it. Don't really need to use it currently or right now. So let's go back to the front. Here you go. You're pretty well done. Now you've sent this away and the customer has said yes, go ahead with my quote. I'm good with $619.99 plus tax and $45.19 including tax monthly. So at this point, you want to come in here. You want to make sure just confirm all your notes are concise and well laid out and easy to understand. And then, because it'll only save you time from explaining what your notes mean, if they're not easy to understand. So what you want to do is you have to go to File and Convert to Order. Once you convert to order, let's save this first. I always ask you to save. Put in the customer's last name. And you hit OK. And now it's going to take this quote and say this is your last chance. And as soon as you hit OK, you're going to notice up here it says quote, correct? As soon as you hit OK, you're going to see this turn to order. Okay, so now it's an order. Now it automatically shows up here. I don't know if it's going to show up here because this is a sandbox, but let me just give it a crack here. It would show up here in this queue, and if it would have shown up, it's probably in the live one. I'll have to talk to Annie about that. It would show up here as a quote to be converted to, or an order to be converted or created to a job. So then Annie or the jobs coordinator would take this and create the job from that quote that you've converted to an order. Okay, so basically that's just a quick run through of how to create a quote in Quotewerks. Hopefully it's been helpful, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.